What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Guitar Wishes and your guitar wish of the day. Today we are just incredibly honored and excited to have in-house with us for a sit-down interview, the Barnyard Stompers. This is Casey and Megan. How are y'all?
Doing great.
Doing good.
Thank y'all so much for joining us today.
You bet. Thanks for having us.
Oh, it's our pleasure, And you've been a friend of the store for quite a while, coming in. And,
we love it here.
Yeah,
Good
and so we wanted to talk to you about, first off, let's get the name, Barnyard Stompers. Where Barnyard Stompers come from?
Man, it's
just a list of ideas he had. I'm like, I like that one.
It's a name that's going to haunt me for the rest of my life. We were going through a bunch of records and stuff and trying to get names off of songs or whatever, and I was just like, if we're going to be just some at the time we were just playing like what I would call like psycho hillbilly music. And it was just
Psycho
like,
hillbilly.
Yeah,
I love that.
So I was just like Barnyard Stompers. And it was so ridiculous, but
and he kept wanting to change the name like every couple of years. I'm like, I've worked too hard since I do all the boring business stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I've worked too hard, like putting the name out there.
That's
We
true.
can't change it now.
yeah.
And then he'd want to do it like, no, we've gone too far with it. We can't change it.
No.
So too bad.
That's all right. That's all right. It's about to make sense again with what's going.
You got you're a duo, and when I try to describe the kind of music you play, it's not country. This is a modern day outlaw country, which is how you label it on the website. Modern day outlaw country. Now, what exactly is that?
Well, when people say they're outlaw country, the first outlaws were like, Waylon and Merle and guys that were doing things different.
Right.
Now, they still call that same thing country, or outlaw country, like 30 years
How
later.
outlaw is it
It's
to
like,
just copy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of them, they just sound pretty much just like Waylon. And there's nothing wrong with that. I love Waylon.
Right.
But, what they call pop country or modern country, took on rap and pop and all that kind of stuff. And we're going the other way with it. We're throwing metal influence, punk rock undertones, that kind of thing. And plus we've always had our rockabilly
Right.
influences.
Is outlaw country more of an attitude, more of a way of thinking versus falling in the norm with what everybody else considers radio or modern country?
Yeah, well,
That's why we are not on any radio station, and
Yeah, you're
because
talking
we don't
about-
fit
I wouldn't
into
know.
any kind of box and don't want to.
But it seemed to me like that's what somebody's looking for, is something that doesn't sound like everything else. That's one of the
You
reasons.
would think so.
Yeah, I was going through listening to some of y'all's stuff, and man, everything, I like it so much because it's different and it's not what everybody else sounds like. And
Right.
so, I think it's the, moving forward with the tradition of somebody like Cash or a Waylon or somebody like that, kind of keeping that tradition alive.
You call us scumbags, you say I'm a disgrace. Sweat mixed with dirt makes mud and it's all over my face. You built your whole empire off the backs of the working poor. We've had all we can stand and we ain't gonna take no more. No more!
Our roots are rooted in that. You can definitely hear it in the music because that's what we love. But we just, it's the same old. It's time to, kind of move along. And I don't know. I think, if you're not plateaued, if you're just plateaued, or if you're not moving forward, I guess it just seems to me a little bit stale.
Yeah.
But the music that we make is music that I've been looking for half my life,
Right.
and was just not there. So I wanted to fill the void for us, for people like us.
And what you just said is that's a great lesson for anybody out there watching. If you're watching movies, if you're looking at art, if you're making music, and what you like is not out there, make it yourself.
Yeah.
I love that philosophy. If it's not out there, make it yourself. And I want to talk about beginnings, but before I get there, you guys sound like a full band when you play live. It's unbelievable. If you haven't seen any of this stuff online, you need to go check it out because they sound like a full band's on stage, but it's a duo. And you're playing drums and you're playing guitar and singing, but it's the way you're strumming, the way you're playing drums, your timing together. How long did that take to work out?
It still is. We're always trying new things, but.
Well, the way that you were taught to kind of play guitar, you already had the kind of bass note in there.
Yeah, the Travis picking kind of
Sure.
stuff.
And I knew right off the bat I'd have to use a lot of floor toms.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's kind of how we got going. And before I, started adding the bottom end, now we get more people dancing and all that. They feel like it's a band. Before they were looking at us like, I like this. Where's it going? kind of thing, so.
Yeah, it's cool. The videos, some of the videos I was watching, I was like, "Where's this bass player? Is there a bass player on track?" But it truly sounds that way. It's an amazing thing to listen to. It really is. And let's go to growing up influences. And now you play tons of instruments.
I was a band nerd, so I play lots of stuff. Yeah.
Is that where that comes from?
Yeah, and none of it would lead to any kind of career or making a living playing music. So I pretty much went from horns to mallet instruments and xylophone and stuff. Knew I can't make a living doing that, so I kind of put my focus more on drum set, and because it wasn't natural to me at all. So
Really?
had to work at it, yeah.
Well,
and even now,
it looks natural these days.
thank you, because I've been doing the same thing on it for about 10 years. Ask me to do something different, and it won't sound like that.
Was there influences that when you were learning to play drums, when you were learning your instruments, who were you listening to?
Mostly jazz stuff is what they teach in school. It's you either do like concert orchestral music or you do jazz. So,
but you go home and you put on something to listen to. What are you listening to?
At the time it was mostly rockabilly stuff, or the kind of heavier rockabilly, at least where I could get some speed up. A lot of surf music, that back then.
Yeah,
and,
sure. Yeah,
country was pretty much easy to play.
Yeah.
Basic stuff. So yeah.
Now, how about you, Casey? The love for guitar and influences and.
Yeah, I play by ear, which is just a way of saying that.
He was naturally talented, where I had to pay people to teach me.
No. Yeah, she's trained, and I really don't know what I'm doing. There's a nice way of putting it. I just really. My dad played. I used to watch. I couldn't hear very well back then. I had tubes put in later, but I'd just see him take out the guitar and start strumming it, and all these girls would start coming in from the park and stuff, and I was like, that's.
I can't hear much, but I can see that.
Yeah, I could do that one day. So, and but the music that I always liked was. To be honest, it started with just like metal. The heavier, the better. Sabbath blew my mind.
Right.
And then, Iron Maiden.
Right.
And then it went to, Metallica and then Slayer. And then,
Sure.
and then it got to that death metal, the Cookie Monster kind of stuff. And I was like, this is getting a little too much for me.
Sure.
And now it's really mellowed out.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of feelings involved in metal now.
Tons of them, yeah.
But,
a lot more melodies and metal.
I started playing punk rock and then moved on to rockabilly. Played traditional rockabilly. My brother played the upright bass.
Right.
And it was just 3-piece. We traveled around a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I've always wanted to do, though, Can't find anybody that, has multiple tastes or...
Yeah.
Are willing to admit that they have multiple tastes if
Sure.
they're at the scene,
Sure. And it's the stepping stones to get where you are. You went through your metal phase and then your early rockabilly to land where you are, and your jazz influences.
Yeah.
Do you ever find yourself pulling on that? when you're playing?
Yeah, I mean, we still use a lot of swing, a lot of blues shuffles and stuff like that. I mean, that's still kind of what I started with, and then I've had to try and learn the more heavy stuff because I liked Maiden too and all that, but
Right.
I never saw myself playing it, and so now, especially with this next record, I realize how many shortcomings I have with. I've been doing the same like 3 tricks on double kick for probably a few years
my
now,
ass.
and I have
She's
to.
good, man.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
I have
good.
to. Yeah, I gotta get some chops up.
You know,
It's just totally different style of playing than I've ever done.
I don't mean to sound like a sexist or anything, but she's like one of maybe 3 or 4 gals out there playing double kick on the drums and like
I
actually
don't know why
getting
there's
away
not
with
more.
it.
Well, I've seen
Just hitting
several
stuff.
I don't know.
several drummers who are women, and you're the only one I've ever seen with double bass, and it's really, really cool to see.
Yeah.
And you're really good at it, you know. Really. And so, tell me about you two coming together, and was it just a natural fit musically?
Yeah, we weren't planning on really having a band when we met. We just started dating. We knew each other through music, but
She's a little older than I am, but
see all that gray hair in there, white in the beard.
well, I'll take it.
We had thought about doing like a garage rock, like vintage garage rock kind of band together, like just kind of on the side a little bit or whatever. And then I don't know, we started that kind of hillbilly rock stuff, and then immediately went touring. Actually, we had only been together about a month, and somebody called us and said, "Hey, I'm at Sturgis, and there's this band is so bad that the owner's asking me because she knows I know bands, asking if I know anybody that can come up here. Can you guys come up here right now?" Like,
Wow.
Sure. So we played Sturgis like a month of being together, and just did
What?
like
That's
hours of just rockabilly, Jerry Lee Lewis, whatever he knew the words to, and then I could follow, and
We
somehow managed.
didn't know any songs, but I mean, we were kicking the butts of those. Yeah, it was like the
Like a bedazzled all female Nashville
they were
country
like,
group.
They were like Nashville meets '80s Vixen, if you remember that band. And but man, there was something wrong.
But was that the catalyst? Was that show the catalyst where you're like, you know what, we could do this together?
Yeah, man,
And-
people were throwing money at us from the balcony.
Yeah, there was a 2-story thing, and they were making paper airplanes and throw them at us. And
this
we could do
dude
this.
felt for us, I guess. He got up there he's kind of a local guy. Got up there with his keyboard. He had some weird ball on there that would make it sound like a pedal steel. And I was like, man, you know what?
Yeah,
I've never sounded this good in my life.
yeah. And then we just kind of started touring. I don't know.
Yeah.
It did was
She's-
natural. I guess it just kind of fell into place. And
She said she always wanted a tour. You go on tour with me. I was like,
I'll give you 5
I have
years.
a few more tricks up my sleeve, but I guarantee you do not want to tour. But our experiences touring have been a lot different than that with me and 2 or 3 other smelly boys.
Yeah.
It's been very nice.
Well, at what point did you say, you know what, this is a lot of fun, but we need to go ahead and start writing our own material and maybe put out an album?
pretty much right away because he's been writing songs. I mean, how old? Since you were a kid, pretty much. So he's
8.
just got hundreds and hundreds of songs everywhere,
Really?
Yeah.
every kind of style. and-
Writing doo-wop.
Doo-wop when you were 8, really?
Well, I only had an AM radio, you know. That's all they
And
played
you said
down
I was
there.
older than you.
That and Tejano. What? I never said anything like that.
Well, do you
Prove it. She's a little older than I am.
do you write?
It's on tape.
Do you write constantly? I mean, is it a everyday thing? Is it something that, because I know people that walk around and they've always got something flying through their head and they write it down. I mean, are you constantly writing?
Yeah, I got up out of bed the last 2 nights, about 3 in the morning once and 6 in the morning today. And oh man, I've had so many. I think I've written some hit songs. Like just as I got out of, like I'll remember that for tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh, now he knows to just get out of bed and just record on his phone.
They're not all winners.
He's definitely gone through, pretty long time periods where nothing, I don't think, comes, but.
Yeah, this record's going to be a lot different for us.
So, what is the name of the new album?
The new one, it's going to be called Hellraising Redneck Metalhead. And it's just going to basically be all the stuff that...
We've had a few people, like recording engineers, say to us, see who your fans are, because by now we kind of have a core group of fans, and who are they, basically? And they're all redneck and metalheads.
Yeah,
or, kind of country redneck folks that used to be metalheads as kids, and so we kind of bring that out of them, and, but we're not a metal band, so...
Sure.
I think it's a pretty good mixture.
Cowboy hat, boots, Pantera shirt.
Yeah.
So, and we do a little thing where we play a Hank Williams Kalijah and go into Seasons in the Abyss from Slayer. And so far, everywhere we've done it's gone off great. So I'm expecting good things.
That's awesome. So, as far as types of instruments you play, what are you playing as far as a kit goes? Do you have a preference? You like a specific?
I've been doing a Gretsch Renown maple for a long time, and Sabian cymbals, and I've just had the same for over 10 years. And I did take away the smallest tom, and I added an 18-inch, which I couldn't afford the Gretsch that matched my kit, so I got a Yamaha, and it's pretty thuddy, but I like it. I can usually get a decent sound out of it.
Right. How about you, Casey? What are you using these days?
I play. I've always played cheap tellies. I mean, I don't think I ever spent more than $300 for a guitar, and then I put about $500 worth of stuff on it, and it makes it worth about $50 to anybody that isn't me, because nobody needs that crap on the guitar except for me. One got worked on here, my General Lee, Roger. Oh man, that thing is
did a great job.
That thing is awesome.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
Yeah, I played that. It was really, really great. That's a great guitar.
Oh man,
what are you doing as far as amps go?
I'm doing orange. Orange, to me. Sorry, I got cotton mouth for some reason. Must be the dry air around here. But there's I like the fact that you could play. And now this is going to be sacrilege to a lot of people, but you can play one of their amps, and it sounds like a tube amp. And also I like the fact that there's no push buttons for like mods and stuff like that. It's just the old school, like, I used to like Peavey when I was younger.
Oh yeah.
These are, crank it up and get good sound out of it without a lot of wattage, So.
Oh yeah. The cool thing about what we always say in the store is that anybody comes in, there's something in here that may speak to them. And, that's what they should play, because guitars will speak to you, and, this is the one that I should get. Or this one. And so, for you, it's that kit. For you, it's that guitar and the orange amp,
Yeah.
So, whatever speaks to you is obviously speaking to somebody else, because you got a heck of a following.
Right.
And, if someone does not know about you, wants to learn more, where can they go online to find out about the Barnyard Stompers?
It's just barnyardstompers.com, or pretty much anything.
/shop.
Anything that every band is on: Spotify, iTunes, Amazon. We're on Pandora. We're on the Touch Tunes and AMI jukeboxes.
That's right.
I think that's about it.
And
there's a lot of other stuff that bands are on that I just don't even know about.
Yeah.
I saw just today that Shazam is still a thing. Had no idea.
Yeah. MySpace went to music or whatever, but we're pushing other people's stuff right now.
Yeah.
It's about us.
And, there's several albums that they can get on your website.
Yeah.
And, we're actually going to have a few of those in the store here. And there's some photos of those coming up on this video as well. And T-shirts, hats.
Oh, yeah.
And vinyl. We were talking about vinyl. So if
Got
you
a couple of my mom's gold teeth, whatever. I saw you a bad company 8-track from under me in my truck. If you don't like what we're playing, I'll go get you something else.
Cool. And we talked before the interview about touring. and COVID has pretty much wiped out the touring industry. But you guys are still going out.
That's
and
what
doing
they
things?
say, but we've been busy since May 1st of last year.
That's amazing. That's
So,
awesome that you've been able to keep going.
Yeah, I see a lot of musicians posting that type of stuff. And, bummed that they can't play and they miss shows. Like, well, you could, I guess, unless you don't feel safe doing it, you can.
We've been blessed, though. We know a lot of really good people. Everywhere that we go, there's, I don't care that, there's a redneck community in Minnesota, Wisconsin, anywhere. So when, people hear that this place closed down or whatever, and it's like they're bummed, and it's like, man, and it's like, hey, we'll still come.
Yeah.
But, we got to have a place to go, and they'll rally everybody together, and everybody throw them. There for a while, we were doing better, actually, than when the bars were open.
Doing backyard parties and stuff last summer.
Or bars that are closed, but they know the local guy that, controls that thing, and just anything, outlaw.
We have had to dodge a couple, like, for some reason, Kentucky, I don't think they've ever really been doing stuff. So we just kind of have to dodge,
Sure.
some stuff, or
drive a little extra.
yeah, or the laws just change, but they're still able to have music, but they can only do, like, North Carolina, have to be done at 9, and so there's a few places we play here, but we have to do 6 to 9, which is insane, but
For a while,
It is what it is.
whatever. Yeah, people are still there,
Yeah.
still having a good time, and
That's awesome.
we were getting paid so much it was almost like the 90s again.
Wow. Hey, well, I can't thank you enough for coming by and talking to us today. Thank y'all so
Yeah.
very much.
Man,
appreciate
And
you
I'm
having
it was
gonna
us.
awesome hanging out with
Well, hey, if you don't know about these guys, go check them out at barnyardstompers.com and check out their stuff on YouTube, and that's a great place to start and see some of the live stuff they've got out. It's really, really good, and you can pick up some of the CDs here, or go to a show. Their tour dates are listed on their site, and we can't thank them enough. Again,
Thank you.
Thank y'all
Thank
so
you.
very
We
much.
appreciate it.
And,
Friends of, we got friends and we got family. We don't consider people fans. When they come and talk to us, they're talking to us, and it's just, hey, whatever you see or hear from here on out, welcome to the circus. It's not on me.
And it's the same old song thing. Someone can keep me in his pain. Sometimes I was on fast and make another plane. Same old song thing.
All right, so I'm sure there were some great shows where you share the stage with some people. Any of those memorable experiences stand out?
The very first one, we shared the stage with Whitey Morgan, and that was a huge deal for us.
Oh, yeah.
Because we were still fairly new, and so that was a pretty big deal for
That's
us
right.
back then. And
And they showed up to see us. They were
Yeah, a lot
up,
of
they were up
bands
in the
that,
balcony, and they were easy to find because there were 5 of them, and that's how many were there. Boy, as soon as he brought out an amp, that place just started jamming full.
Yeah.
It was, but it was cool.
Yeah.
That was awesome. They came up and complimented us and everything.
That's great.
We still talk to a few of those guys now. And,
we get to share stage with Dallas Moore pretty often, and Casper McWade, and
look, you've heard
Jackson
of
Taylor. Those are some of our favorites.
Scott H. Byram, the dirty old man. He was.
In
We
Tulsa.
played with him in Tulsa, and we played with him a few times. Now we played with him in North Carolina too.
Yeah.
We played with him in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and he was like, where the hell these guys come from? And I was just like,
We've been around.
yeah, man, kind of a big deal. But he came up and brought us shots and everything. I was like, man,
This is
Scott
cool.
H. Byram, because I've been watching him for years.
Yeah.
Calls himself the dirty old man. He's maybe 2 years younger than me.
What's this? You mentioned Jackal before, Jesse. And a boys.
Yeah. We play the same venue in Destination Daytona for Daytona Bike Week.
Oh, yeah.
And so our the guy that hired us there said, like, oh yeah, go take a break, go watch them and stuff. We have so many Chainsaw songs that we used to have.
Really big into chainsaw.
Yeah, we used to have a 72 Homelight chainsaw that we would have on stage with us, and so we brought it over there and had him sign it and everything.
Oh yeah.
Got to see him chainsaw a birthday cake.
Oh yeah.
That was pretty awesome.
And then just that lumberjack.
Yeah,
of
course.
She just got a picture like 2 days ago, I guess. Said, look who came by. Wanted to be Barnyard Stompers chainsaw
Oh, yeah,
player.
yeah. Yeah, he stopped by the bar down there
Yeah.
in Daytona, I guess, early.
Great guy. You know,
Super nice
They,
guy.
they all looked at us a little bit weird. Everybody looked at us kind of a little bit weird because
We had a chainsaw.
we
at the
we had
show.
permission from this guy to go into this like stadium kind of area with like thousands of people with a chainsaw. And
Oh man.
and we back then, I wore pretty much like a John Deere hat and overalls, and it's Florida heat, so no shirt. They're just like, what is wrong with this guy? I think I had barbecue sauce on me too, so it's like, is that barbecue sauce? Yeah, and the band kind of looked at us a little bit strange when we were making our way up through the line. Yeah, I mean,
Awesome.
Jesse, for some reason you see this thing. Yes, you can be the chainsaw player. Absolutely.
We also got to open for legendary Shack Shakers and Wayne Hancock, which was pretty awesome because that's when I started really thinking I need to use more floor toms because he had just giant floor toms.
That's
like
always
the
great.
Shack Shakers. And,
That's cool.
yeah.
You can learn something from the people that you're playing with.
Well, yeah.
Well, that's
Especially it was a night after night, you get to kind of
Oh yeah, especially
pay attention more.
Yeah, especially somebody who's been out there and has got some road wear. It's always good to be able to learn something from.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, hey, if you want to know more about what's going on here at the store, check us out at GuitarWishes.com, our Facebook site, and of course, thank you so much for everybody supporting our YouTube channel. Like and subscribe if you haven't done so. And for everybody here, thanks guys so much, and we will talk to you soon. And my name is Lee. We're out.
I went out last night to have some fun. I took a bottle and I took my gun. Went to the bar to check out the show. That wasn't music as far as I know.
Cruising for a bruising.